Hey you guys, welcome back to High Priestess Transmissions. My name is Nikki. I'm an initiated High Priestess, witch, and psychic medium. And this might be a rant, y'all. Because once again, I logged onto Threads. And for like the 4th day this week, I opened the app. And people are up in arms yet again. Bitching and moaning about witches' prices. And psychic mediums' prices for readings. And the prices that the healers are costing. The entitlement is crazy. And the reason that this bothers me so much, like I really try 99% of the time to not allow anything on the internet to bother me. But this one hits home. And the reason that it bothers me so much is because over the years, like I'm on year 6 of my business, and over the years I've encountered many clients that didn't fully appreciate me or my work. And they had a sense of entitlement to it. And I know what it's like to be fully committed to your purpose and your path, and also relying on it for income, because you gotta eat and pay bills like everybody else. And then there's somebody wanting a discount, or sabotaging the blessing that you and your spirits have worked very hard energetically to bring them, right? Or y'all do some work to get them out of a situation, and you expend all this energy only for them to voluntarily jump back into said shitty situation and self-sabotage. Like, that just shows me you don't appreciate me or my work or my spirits. And I am so tired of this. Because unless maybe you have someone close to you, like a parent or a best friend or a spouse or a godparent, that does this type of work for a living and is really about this life and does it correctly, or you do those things yourself, you don't know what it takes. Not only does it take a lot out of us physically, but there's a lot of inner work that has to be done. We don't get a lot of leeway when it comes to our karma and the decisions that we make. We don't get as much grace from the divine as most people do. Spirit is a lot harder on us, and that comes with a price. And also, when someone does a ritual for you, when I do a spell for y'all, I am putting my life force energy into that working. Y'all do understand that, right? Like, I am giving part of myself to you and your situation because you need my help. And my godparents, God bless them, told me about 4 or 5 years ago, every single spiritual working that you do for someone else, a piece of you goes into it. Okay? It's not TikTok witchcraft. It's not just me lighting a cute little tea light candle and sprinkling some glitter on it and hoping for the best. No. Knowing how to do spiritual work, spiritual cleansing, divination, readings, spirit communication, ritual work. This is a trade. This is not a hobby of mine. It never has been. I was telling one of my spirits earlier, I was just joking with them, and I was like, I wish that I got to experience what it was like to be a TikTok witch. that just does this as a hobby, does it for fun, might light a candle every 6 months if she feels like it. Yeah. Reads a few books in her spare time. No. I came along to this path for survival. Only to realize I had a calling. And I'm an old soul, you guys. Like, I'm not perfect and I'm still learning a lot of things, but I also have a lot of knowledge. And I also do a lot of inner work. And my soul is done running from my calling. So I didn't give myself a choice. And that's completely fine because I love this path. I love this work. You know? But it's not an easy path. And, you know, I don't understand, for example, the trials and tribulations and the stress that a mechanic deals with. Because that's not my scope of practice. But I can look at how hard he's working and how dirty his hands are and how stressed out he looks and appreciate him and his work. I don't feel entitled to it just because he's a mechanic. So why the fuck do you feel entitled to my spiritual gifts that have taken lifetimes to cultivate? Mind you, cultivating said spiritual gifts over lifetimes has not been easy for me or any other woman, any other feminine soul, because up until very recently, we had to cultivate those spiritual gifts in secret. Or else we could have lost our life. And a lot of us did lose our lives for it. And you feel entitled to that? Or you feel like my prices make you uncomfortable or make you irritated? Because you don't think my work is worth it? Mira, if you don't think that my work is worth what I charge, get the fuck away from me. I don't have shit to prove to you. I don't care. Respectfully. That's just my attitude. Because the clients that roll with me and fuck with me for real. But I'm so goddamn tired of y'all having the same conversation, the same sense of entitlement. And the twisted thing about it is most spiritualists are women. Yes, there are male practitioners, but I'd say maybe 60 to 70% of them are women at least. Because the witchcraft is inherently a feminine path in a lot of ways. And this sense of entitlement that you feel comes from that feeling that you have of women being obligated to serve you. And wanting to either not pay them at all for their labor or very cheap. Fuck that. I'm so goddamn tired of the entitlement, y'all. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. It might become one of my key phrases. I don't know. If you don't agree with a spiritual practitioner's price, you've got two options. Go find somebody cheaper, because they're out there. But like my previous video said, cheap spell work equals cheap results. Anyway, or you can learn the information yourself and do it yourself. And if you like a certain practitioner and you resonate with them, you just don't have the funds, start a side hustle. Start a non-spiritual business. Because if you're entitled as fuck, please don't start a spiritual business. Please. DoorDash, Uber. Or again, learn the information yourself. People think that my courses are too expensive. For example, the Evil Eye course is $447. It's got 9 core modules and now 3 bonuses. And it's not just 1 or 2 little blips of information per module. No, that course is jam-packed. I told y'all my spirits were yelling at me to shut the laptop down because 9 hours went by and I hadn't moved. That course probably took me at least 36 hours to put together. And that's not to mention all the inner work that I've had to do to get that knowledge. The relationships that I've had to nurture with my spirits and my ancestors. And also all the work that I've had to put in to prove to my spirits that I'm worthy of not only obtaining their knowledge, but sharing it with the world. How much work I've had to put in to show them over the years that I'm a responsible spiritual woman. And I'm the best damn priestess I can be. You can't put a price on that. But that course took me 36 hours. Okay, let's divide 447 divided by 36. $12.41. So in your mind, I'm worth $12 an hour? No. If anything, I'm undercharging for that course. That course is probably worth at least $1,111. But it's about very fundamental, important, non-negotiable things for your spiritual well-being. And my Gitana, my great-grandmother, Yaya Sofia, wanted that course to be accessible for y'all. And for all the knowledge that you get, 447, considering you can use Afterpay, it's a pretty good deal. I've invested at least 100 times that into my spiritual path over the years. And I haven't complained. When I've had to pay for a ceremony with my godparents, or I needed a reading or a service from them, I've never complained about their prices. I've never moaned and groaned about it. I've either agreed to it and given them the money ASAP, or I would say, hey, I can't do that right now, but I promise you, as soon as I get my money up, I'll get it taken care of. Because I appreciate their work. And I know that they pour their all into their calling. And also, me too, I'm someone that pours my all into my calling. So when I see that in someone else, I appreciate it. Because I know what it feels like. And I know how difficult it can be. But I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm not trying to be a bitch. But I'm tightening the fuck up. Every client that I've ever served the last 6 years has taught me something. But I'm not the woman that I first was when I started the business. I was 23 when I started this business. I'm 28 now. I'll be 29 in a few months. I've grown, as we should. So my business has to grow too. And I get it, we're all human, we all make mistakes. But I don't want clients that self-sabotage and slash their boyfriend's tires after they just paid me $500 to do a love spell, a reconciliation spell rather. I do the spell, he comes back to you a week later, he likes a girl's picture on Instagram, you get the butcher knife and go slash his tires. And he breaks up with you for good. We're not doing that shit anymore. Again, it's very obvious you don't appreciate me or my work. I want clients that see the value in what I teach. Witchcraft has the power to change your life. Witchcraft is God's gift to the feminine. Because for a lot of us, we're either in a situation right now, or we've dealt with situations in the past where spell work was all that we had. That was the only weapon that we had at our disposal. Especially if you're like me and you're 5'3". Girl, you best believe I trust these spirits and all the trabajos I've ever done to protect me. And make a way out of no way. But I want clients that have that hunger for knowledge that I have and that I especially had in the beginning of my path. But the difference, the nuance, is I want to be able to give y'all and teach y'all all the knowledge that I didn't have back then. So that you don't make my mistakes. And that you can do better than I did. And a lot quicker. Because that's healing to me. Whatever hardship I went through, when I'm able to take that wisdom and that knowledge and give it to someone else and they actually apply it, and it either fixes the mistake or it helps them to not make the mistake at all, that soothes my spirit. Because it's like, whew, okay, that wasn't actually in vain. I didn't go through that for no reason. It had a purpose. Do y'all see how deep this path is for me and why I'm so passionate about it? So when I see these entitled assholes, Spirit, do y'all know what one of my muertos just said? The people that I'm referring to online and in real life, Spirit said they have way too much audacity and not enough skill. Write that down. Don't be that person. Meanwhile, again, I'm on year 6 of my business and I still question myself. There's times when I get hired to do spell work for a client and when I'm gathering my supplies and stuff and, writing the spell plan and the outline and stuff, planning out the work, doing the divination with my spirits check me because I'm acting like I've never done that spell before. Like I forget all the hundreds of spells that I've ever done. And they're like, Nikki, you're not an amateur. So the ones that actually have the skill need a boost in audacity and confidence. But that's also me being a Capricorn moon and a perfectionist and a very old soul. But I know that in the next 10 years, because there's this divine feminine energy shift coming, it's gradually making its way here, and it's shaking things up, and it's going to get more intense. And over the next 10 years, more women are going to be embarking on their spiritual path. More women are going to become witches and reawaken that part of their soul and take their power back. And I want to be able to pass this knowledge on to y'all. Because I know the difference that it makes. Okay. I love y'all. This was one of my longer episodes, but I think it's very much necessary. Okay. If you have a spiritualist in your life that knows their stuff and has integrity and does good work, buy them a coffee. Send them some cupcakes. Okay? Or a pizza. Take them out to eat. Something. Show them that they are appreciated, because we are chronically undervalued. Okay? I love y'all. If you would like to check out my 12-week one-on-one tarot and witchcraft mentorship, where I give you a firm, stable, effective spiritual foundation that gives results, go to sirensnectar.com/mentorship. And if you would like to support me and my content, you can visit my little tip jar at sirensnectar.com/tips. Okay? I love y'all. Bye.